Yellow! I did it again, recorded a whole one and forgot to turn the mic on. Anyway, here we go. Michigan stomps on the Stinkin Badgers 38 to 17. One of the biggest wins here for Michigan and Jim Harbaugh at his tenure here at Michigan. A lot of people think it's his biggest. Being an underdog, being on the road, winning in Wisconsin for the first time in 20 years. It's hard not to be excited about it. I understand that Wisconsin isn't the greatest team right now, but they're still going to be pretty tough. But it was awesome to go out there and watch them just dominate them, pretty much. Negative 2 yards in the first quarter for Wisconsin, total offense. Ran into the second quarter a bit. And we've seen some nice things from the Michigan offense and the defense, man. The defense is just flying around. They're playing great. Doing stunts, doing different things, just exotic things that really mixes it up for the offense and the quarterback. It's tough to see where people's coming from, and it's just fun to watch, man. I think McDonald's has been one of the greatest pickups that we could have gotten, man. And just I think it's the younger coaches are kind of rubbing off on Jimbo too. He seems more energetic and seems like he's just having fun. I mean, the whole team seems like they're having fun, man. And even I had to smile, and I was just excited to see people doing the jump around when the jump around was going. Michigan was going crazy on the sideline, on the field, on the sideline, going nuts. And that's just got to be so deflating for Wisconsin to look over there. And we're the ones jumping around, just kicking ass, And the run game kind of not really struggled, but we didn't really use it as much. I guess we did have some turnovers, like on that punt return, even though we only got 3 on it, which kind of sucked. But, we need to start cashing those in. But Cade played pretty good, 17 for 28, 197 yards, 2 touchdowns. JJ looked good, only threw 1 pass and had a touchdown, which was a complete dime. Even though it was in garbage time, but it's still exciting to see. Haskins and Corum. Haskins, 47 yards. Blake Corum, 46 yards. We're going to have to start bumping those numbers back up, and hopefully we can do that this weekend against Nebraska. But the thing that really stuck out to me is we're starting to have these receivers kind of step up, especially Roman Wilson. He's sure-handed. I always thought prior to this game was, last year he put in some solid reps, and he, sure-handed. And somebody needed to step up, and Cornelius kind of had a rough first half there. And I will say this, though, a lot of the balls, I wouldn't say they were uncatchable, but, they were tougher grabs to make. And so we started off there a little slow in the first half, but then, he tore it up in the second. He ended up with 2 touchdowns. And Baldwin actually got a touchdown too, which was cool. And we're starting to become a little bit more balanced. And they're running a little bit of a 2-quarterback system there with JJ and Cade. And I don't think Cade was very happy, but I think, JJ brings a little bit of dynamics that we don't really have with Cade, and it's hard to deny that. I mean, his long ball that he threw for the touchdown was just insane. Just perfect, on the money. And, defense was just swarming. They're tough, and they're having fun, man. Mike Macdonald is the man. Like, he just completely transformed this defense from last year. They were quitting, looking like they didn't know had any fundamentals or anything like that, to now these guys are swarming around, having fun. Unfortunately for Wisconsin, Graham got kicked out of the game because he had to have broke a rib. I haven't really followed up on it, but Dax, just for being such a wiry guy, he's on a blitz, just absolutely destroyed him, man. And another person, man, Aiden Hutchinson, his leadership skills have been outstanding. Probably the best leader that we've had in the past 20 years. If you find somebody else that's better than him, put it in the comments. Let me know, because I can't think of anybody offhand. You might have like Jabril Peppers up there, but he's just bringing people with him. He's keeping people hard nosed. Like, for example, when they got off the bus from Wisconsin, he goes, all right, we got 10 minutes. We're about to hit the weight room. They're just staying, getting after it. And they got that underdog mentality, which I love because those are the better seasons that we have, Instead of coming in all high and mighty like a lot of people, I feel like that's the vibe we get with Michigan a lot of times. They're coming in as the underdog. They're feeling disrespected. Let's get after it. Let's show people what we're about, and let's get after it. So it's exciting to see. It's hard not to be super excited. Even if these teams really aren't even that great, they're still tough football teams. And we got another tough one coming up here in Nebraska, 7:30 on Saturday. Adrian Martinez is still there. It feels like he's been there for like 10 years. It's probably a tougher place to play, but it's also a good momentum builder for us if we go out there and dominate, which I think we will. I see this team being very focused, and we haven't seen that in a while, probably since like 2016, man. So it's hard not to be excited, and I just love seeing Jim happy and he's having fun. I just love seeing all these young players have fun too, man. And Aiden Hutchinson's is putting the team on his back, and I'm not saying just with stats and all that, just leadership wise, man. And he's going to be a top 10 pick next year in the draft. 100% he will be. He's just terrorizing defenses, dude. I mean, it's just great to see. And, hopefully in this game, too, we can, I think Cade's going to be on a short leash, especially with these games coming up. If he's not getting the job done, JJ will be right in there. And I think that dude's pretty confident. I don't think he lacks confidence in himself at all, which is good. Especially we haven't had a quarterback like that and pretty much since I've been alive. I'm 28 years old. Last great one I've seen, well, I'll put Denard in there. I love Denard. He was one of the highlights of the dark days here at Michigan, but, since like Chad Henne, And I think JJ is a little more confident than a lot of those guys too, which is just, it's exciting. And I think if we find our quarterback by the end of the year going into next year, no matter what happens this season, I think Jim keeps his job, and we will have something to be excited about and build upon next year, whether it's Cade or JJ, which I'm sure a lot of us feel like it's going to be JJ. And I love Cade though too, man. I'm not hating on any of them. I'm not really gonna pick a side. I'm riding with whoever Jimbo puts in there. So everybody jump back on the train, because this is the biggest win that we've had since, I'd have to say since, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago when we played Notre Dame at the Big House in the rain, and they were ranked up pretty high, and we just destroyed them. And I would say that was probably Jimbo's biggest win that he's had here at Michigan. And, drop a comment. Tell me which one you think is the biggest one. So, Nebraska, this Saturday, let's keep this train rolling. Let's dominate them. And let's get a win on the road. Let's continue to the old 6-0. Peace out.